Across rural America, a quiet shift in the barn is setting up a big story at the grocery store. Dairy experts warn that the United States is heading toward a shortage of new milk cows, even as supermarket coolers still look full and prices seem relatively stable for now. In January, dairy farmers reported they were keeping nearly one-fifth fewer young heifers to become future milk cows than they did 8 years ago, a decline that has marched steadily lower year after year. Industry analysts say the pool of replacement heifers is now at its lowest level since the late 1970s, a sign that producers may have pushed a profitable strategy a little too far. Instead of raising heifers for future milk, many dairies have turned to what is known as beef on dairy, breeding dairy cows with Angus or other beef bulls to produce calves headed for the meat case, not the milking parlor. That shift exploded in popularity as beef prices surged in 2023, driven in part by the smallest national beef herd since the early 1960s. One leading dairy economist notes that beef bull semen sales reached nearly 10 million units in the United States last year, and almost 80% of that went to dairy farms. With high beef prices and strong feedlot demand, those crossbred black-hided calves often bring more immediate value than a traditional Holstein heifer, changing the math inside many barns. Ironically, even with fewer replacements in the pipeline, the nation's overall dairy herd has actually grown, reaching its highest level in more than 3 decades at around 9.6 million cows. Farmers have stretched the existing herd by culling fewer animals, keeping older cows in production longer because their calves are so valuable. As one economist puts it, in some cases, the uterus of the cow is worth more than the cow herself, a blunt way of saying genetics and calf value are driving decisions more than milk alone. On family farms like Hanson's Dairy in Hudson, Iowa, the change is personal as well as economic. Co-owner Blake Hanson says his family has bred a small share of their herd to beef bulls for more than a decade, selling much of that meat directly to consumers. He has watched prices for bull calves, especially the black-hided crosses, climb to levels he calls the best thing that has ever happened for both beef farmers and the dairy industry after years of thin or negative margins. But the same trend that is lifting calf checks today could tighten milk supplies tomorrow. Hansen believes that by the end of this year or into 2027, the United States could see significantly higher milk prices as farmers struggle to find enough heifers to replace aging cows. Government data already show that more than 400,000 fewer replacement heifers will enter milking strings this year compared with last, and economists do not expect a real rebound in those numbers until at least 2027. In the meantime, the shortage is driving replacement prices sharply higher, with some dairy heifers fetching more than $4,000 at recent auctions in Wisconsin and beyond. That sticker shock is prompting some producers to reconsider the balance between beef on dairy and the need for future milk cows, including investing more in sexed semen that increases the odds of female calves. Others are rethinking how they care for older cows, knowing that eventually they will have to cull animals that are carrying much of the production load today. For consumers, milk and dairy cases still look normal, but the numbers behind them tell a different story. If beef prices stay strong and heifer supplies remain tight, the cost of a gallon of milk, a block of cheese, or a tub of yogurt could be the next visible sign of this quiet recalculation on America's dairy farms. As one economist advises producers, this beef on dairy boom is a moment to make hay while the sun is shining, but the bill for underinvesting in future milk cows is already coming due.